only apple cider vinegar, but lemon juice, any kind of vinegar, apple cider vinegar or spoonful of kombucha, or like champagne vinegar, any kind of vinegar or citrusy type of juice, even like grapefruit, like a tablespoon of citrus like lemon or grapefruit, uh, sprinkled over food when you start eating food, at the beginning of the meal, has shown a lot of health benefits.
Okay, thank you. And just for audience, I'm not going to take any disease related personal questions. This will be general questions I will be taking in this session. If you want to consult Dr. Deepa Deshmukh, you can connect to her on one-on-one basis. So next question, Deepa, is consuming stored brought Chyawanprash good to build immunity? It's from Vaidehi.
So it's been very common now that when FDA analyzes products from overseas, they are finding, especially in Ayurvedic product, there is a lot of contamination. So there may be a contamination issue. I don't know how I don't know how strict the manufacturing guidelines are back in India, or how commercialized they are. I know that the Chyawanprash can be made at home. If you have a homemade recipe, I think it should be fine. But store bought, just like Kellogg's or Pepsi, these huge organizations, we know that they have commercial interests. So the transparency in terms of manufacturing, ingredient sourcing is doubtful. So I would say, I don't know the purity. If you can make it at home, it would be a good thing. If you can get it analyzed, or if you try to trace back the source and see there is no contamination, then I think it's a good thing.
Thank you. Then the next question from Pradnya. Is there a particular probiotic that you will recommend?
Okay, so first of all, if you are completely new to probiotic, I would recommend that you start by taking a powder form. Okay. Again, probiotic is one of those things that people think, oh, if one tablet is, if it is good, then I must take 50 billion or 100 billion concentration, or should be better. It doesn't work that way. If your system is not used to probiotics, then even if it is good, initially it's going to react. Okay, because the unhealthy digestive system has more bad bacteria than good bacteria. So the bad bacteria are going to fight and cause more inflammation even if you start taking probiotic. So if you're new to probiotic, I would recommend that you start taking a powder and literally pinch by pinch, not tablet. A lot of people have trouble when they take tablet, and build your tolerance. And you want to look for a probiotic supplement which has 4 or 5 different kind of strains in it. Don't just go with acidophilus, but try to find variety of strains.
So next question is, are fruits like oranges rich in fiber good, or they are high in sugar too? From Rakhi.
Okay, so actually the peel of the orange has everything. So what I would recommend that you first peel use like grated, how we grate ginger, you can peel of the orange and start using that in your food or in your salads or in your salad dressing, because the oils that are found in orange and lemon are a huge have cleansing properties, especially for fatty liver. Okay, so that's number one about orange. Secondly, orange, as long as you are eating it with all the fiber inside, you are not squeezing it into juice or just eating only the juicy segments, it should be fine. 1 orange per day should be fine. Again, if orange, I have yet to see person who has overdosed on orange and have gotten into the hospital. But if you have to look at the context as to what else you have eaten. If you have eaten at Indian buffet, or if you had, I don't know, high fat, high calorie, high sugar diet, and if that orange is your kind of way to salvage your day, then you are in trouble to start with. You can't blame that one orange to get your blood sugar levels high. So you have to see where that orange fits in your overall diet.
Thank you. So next question is from Anagha. I guess that you might not recommend dairy, but what is your opinion for fermented milk?
Okay. So the issue with dairy is very extensive, in the sense the quality of the meat, I mean the milk, the way we are processing milk, and the health of our animals. Remember, the animals are extremely stressed out. They have been given antibiotics. Milk and meat is a food product, is an ingredient which comes from a species which has hormones running in their body. Okay, so when you are getting something from a stressed source, those hormones are going to get passed on to your system. Okay, because we tend to think, oh, I eat meat because of iron, I eat meat because of protein, I am drinking milk because of calcium, blah blah blah. Well, if you are having those sources for these nutrients, then we are also having those. So the hormones from the animals are going to be part of that chain. So fermented milk, maybe it will make it slightly easy to digest, but it doesn't really addresses the hormonal side of imbalance that can be caused because of milk being an animal source.
So few last questions. So question from Sita, is there a difference eating basmati or brown rice?
Yes, the rice issue, there are two different components to it. One is fiber and the other one is toxicity. Rice is grown in water, and it is grown in stagnant water. So what has happened is rice growing fields have been heavily polluted because of all the junk that has been released in our rivers and in our water supply. So the arsenic levels in brown rice can be high, okay, because arsenic sits in the the fiber component of rice. So even though brown rice is good for you, arsenic can be a problem, but it does have little more fiber than basmati rice. Now in basmati rice, you have less arsenic because it's polished, so the fiber is gone, but then it doesn't have fiber. What I recommend is, if you're going to eat rice, make sure it's organic. And after looking at many rice suppliers, there's a company called Lundberg, and they are the only ones who actually, when you call them, they will tell you that that they have tested the rice for arsenic, and it's supposed to be arsenic, doesn't have, or extremely low levels of arsenic. So these are the two factors I would take into consideration. Is if you're going to do brown rice, try to do organic as much as you can, and see if the company, you can always call these companies and ask them about the chemical levels in it, and Lundberg brand seems to be the good one if you're going to do brown rice.
Deepa, just to ask you, because we are lot of questions are coming.
Okay.
10 to 12 more questions. So how
Okay.
go with that? Like, do you want me to select 4-5 questions and tell them to send the questions to you, or do you have 10-15 minutes on more?
I can go on for 15 minutes.
Okay. Is everything is uh, is it okay with everyone? 15 minutes more. So the next question.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So next question is from Rushali. Uh, Everyone's body tendency is different. How do we know that food that we are eating is appropriate for our body?
Your body will tell. You know, you're after, because if you're feeling sick, like a lot of people say, oh, I eat this and I feel nauseated. My question is, then what? Don't eat, eliminate. Because what happens is, the reality is, if your body is not in a good spot, it's going to react to a lot of foods. Okay, but once you start getting into uh, eating clean foods, nutrient dense foods, and as your immune system and as your digestive system starts to get stronger, you will start tolerating some of the foods that you were not tolerating before, or the intensity of your symptoms will go down. So this it's a process. It takes time. Okay, so you have to commit, and uh, you have to follow the process, just like everything else in your life, to get your body back on track.
Next question is from Swati. How to measure fiber content? How to know if we are eating enough amount of fiber?
It's usually, if you guys have apps, there are plenty of apps which track fiber. If you just Google how much fiber is in food that you are eating, there will be a fiber content written on it. It is written on the packages. Trust me, the Haldiram doesn't. I don't think they even believe in fiber. If you don't look for fiber on highly processed foods, but for on beans, lentils, vegetables, that data is easily available.
From Pradnya, is eating white rice and chapati good?
If you're eating with Srikhanda or just two bhat meat, it's obviously is not is not the best choice. Again, you have to ask yourself, what is my overall diet is, what else is part of my diet? Because I don't think, if you're eating predominantly lot of vegetables, very clean food, cooking properly, then eating chapati or rice is a big deal. But again, if the chapati is made out of more like maida type flour, that's different than making chapati with 100% whole wheat flour with oat flour and chia and flax and so on and so added to it. That chapati obviously is going to give you more nutrients than just the white chapati.
Thank you. From Dipali, what kind of food do you recommend for breakfast? As market food is always come with sugar and fiber.
It's a really long conversation, because there are so many things that you can have
So
for
she
breakfast.
can connect to you one-on-one on that.
Yeah, or send me a question on podcast@nutritionisdeepa.com. That's where I take questions and I answer question on my podcast. So questions like these would be good, because if you have a question like this, there are many other people, and it's a conversation in itself. I would need like at least 20 minutes to talk about it. So send me your questions such as these, like recipe related questions, at podcast@nutritionisdeepa.com.
Next question from Mrunal. These are very unusual times. Would think things we eat normally in moderation should be a good line in the sand? Can you please comment?
So moderation is also a very subjective term, right? How are we defining moderation? I used to think, cooking dessert was